YouTube squad, Rattan gang? What's up, fellas? Welcome to another video. I know it's been a while. I've been taking a break. I woke up, I immediately spilled coffee on my hoodie. So we're off to an excellent start to today. It's all right. I don't have to work today. So whatever. All right. Drinking my superfoods, by the way. Every morning I do a blend of various superfoods. I do that. I start drinking that before I drink coffee because I don't like to put coffee on an empty stomach, FYI. I'm very serious about taking excellent care of my gut health. This is something I've been into for 4 or 5 years now. The retention stuff's is coming up on a year here for me. But I've been very, very engaged in optimizing my own health for a very long time, and gut health is absolutely critical. I mean, it's in the center, it's in the geographical center of your body. I mean, that suggests a level of importance there. It's like the core. We call this our core, right? So if we're weak at our core, both muscular, in a muscular sense, or internal organs, if any of these internal organs are not functioning optimally, the liver and the gut in particular, that's going to affect your brain chemistry. It's going to affect your ability to think clearly. That's going to affect your ability to make wise decisions and connect with the Most High, because this gut-brain axis we talk about, your gut is also a brain. We say we have our intuition right here, right? And then we analyze things up here. When these two things, in your heart also has intelligence. Your heart, in my opinion, is the most intelligent part of you, more so than the brain or the gut. But we have this sort of axis here: gut, heart, brain, Most High. And then it starts at the root chakra, where we are cultivating our sexual life force energy at that root level. And then that energy can travel freely up and down this axis. And your spine is like a physical place where this axis, this energy can move up and down, into the base of your brain, from the base of your spine. And through this axis, we have access, through this axis, AXIS, we have access to this divine guidance from the Most High. And this is something that might sound airy-fairy, woo-woo to certain people, but if you're somebody that has experienced this reality firsthand, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't even have to explain it to you. For some people, these are very foreign ideas, but I think I'm talking to a crowd of people where this stuff is not so strange, because if you guys are retainers, you're truth seekers too. I think that's part of the deal here. Unless you're just one of those cats that's like, I'm gonna do this because I heard it gets me women. You know what I mean? There's that. There's people that do the right things for the wrong reasons, and also people do the wrong things for the right reasons too. But in any case, let's get on topic. Let's get on topic before I ramble too long. You guys, main thing I wanted to do here was just pop in and kind of check in with y'all, let you guys know I'm still going strong on the SR journey. It's gonna be a year. I think I'm 10 months now, 10 months or so. It's been about 7 months now since I've even had a wet dream. So if y'all haven't made it on a streak that long, if you have, you probably know the deal. If you haven't, let me tell you what, this thing does not quit. It keeps getting more and more intense, more and more eye-opening, more and more healing, challenging, intense. It's forcing me into deeper and deeper shadow work. I've had, part of the reason I haven't been dropping videos is because I've kind of been going through it. and really struggling with rage, anger, insecurity on a certain level, which is bizarre because I have this incredible level of confidence now to the point where it's actually potentially out of balance. Like I'm coming in a little bit hot, guns a-blazing in a lot of situations, and I think my energy is so intense that a lot of times it actually intimidates or scares people away, and it's not something I really want to do. On a level, yeah, I do, because if you can't handle my energy, then you can't handle my energy, and I really don't want to be connecting with people unless they can meet me at my level, if you feel me. But at the same time, it's like there's a certain degree of like I have to be in the world with people, and I don't necessarily want to be scaring people with the intensity that I have. And so I've had to go inside myself and realize that a lot of it is rage, and a lot of that rage comes from being mistreated, betrayed, lied to, and taken advantage of by the opposite sex. And ultimately, those are all things I allowed to happen. Those are all things that happened mostly because of my attachment to the reward system, the dopamine, to the oxytocin that's produced in my brain when I get lovey-dovey feelings from a woman, when I have secured my ability to have regular sex. That all of that is something that I get so attached to that I will sort of willingly or unconsciously or consciously, whatever, kind of like not look at obvious red flags because I don't want to lose the benefits, right? And so ultimately what that does is make me basically a simp, and that's what I was for a lot of years without knowing it. But it's like I didn't know it, but it sure felt like I was being walked on a lot. I felt so. It's like coming out of that, then it's easy for the pendulum to swing in the far direction when you come out of that, having been walked on, being a people pleaser, being a simp type of thing, and you're stepping into this masculine frame, this power now, where you don't need women anymore. You don't need their validation. You're not trying to get in their pants. It's not like that anymore. It's easy to get overconfident, I think, to a degree where you may even be entering into a bit of like arrogance about it, or a bit of like you're still carrying some anger there towards the opposite sex, maybe, that you don't realize that you are, until, in my case, until the opposite sex starts to come into my life in meaningful ways that feel some type of way. So really the topic, I'm finally getting to the topic at the end of the video. This is backwards. By the way, if you guys are still watching this, drop a comment. Let me know where you're at. Even just drop an emoji or something. If you're still on the SR journey, let me know. Drop a comment. I still want to grow this channel. I want to make it more professional in the future. I've got a lot of ideas moving forward. But like I said, I had to take a hiatus from this because I was going through some stuff, and I was like basically out in the field gathering data, learning. And so I'd mentioned in some previous videos, a female came into my life. I started sensing some weird stuff going on, and I kind of snapped. I kind of snapped on her, and basically, in so many words, told her to kick rocks. It's like, if you can't treat me like a king, then you can not treat me at all, period. Bye. Just kind of, paraphrasing, but that's just basically what I told her. And she kind of came back at me with a similar level of fire, and was like, man, I think you got this all twisted. I think you're way off. And and part of me was like, I kind of liked that. I was like, yeah, I like this fiery, oh, bring it. Because I feel un-F-withable these days, like, which is ironic because this person being in my life and my having feelings for them was effing with me quite a bit, man. It's why I was, it brought up all this rage that really was about prior experiences. It's not even about this person, And so what ended up happening is we ended up talking about it. And I was just so direct with her. And this is, man, so this is it. This is what this is what this video is supposed to be about, is as you progress on this journey, the female attraction stuff, it's so real, man. And the more you're around females, you know, the longer you're on retention and the more you're around females, and the more they catch on, this is when it really starts to pop off, is when they realize what you're doing. Whether they heard somebody else told them about it, or maybe you told them about it yourself, but they actually figure out, like, oh, this cat literally doesn't have sex. Like, he's actually celibate on purpose. Like, he's actually out here saying no to women. He's actually out here not even touching himself like every other dude, right? Like, when they really catch on to that and they realize that that's part of why you're different, you become so intriguing to them. You know, you're a fascinating creature to them. And your energy too, people just want to be near it because it's powerful, right? Especially when it's grounded and it's not like chaotic. So like I said, I went into this like kind of chaotic state with it because I was so full of rage, and I had to really check myself, man. And this female in my life actually ended up kind of helping me work some stuff out that I really needed to work out. And so when we ended up talking about this is what's so amazing is, you know, like old me couldn't have done this, you know. So what I did was I was like, all right, I'm gonna approach this situation and I'm gonna stay in my masculine frame. However, I'm gonna soften a little bit and be receptive to the feminine and try and treat her as an equal. I don't think of it in this sense of resentment, like she's another crazy whatever that's going to play games with me. Just think of it as like she's a human being that's got her own series of traumas and insecurities and whatever. And I'm just going to hear her out. And I basically was like, I gave her the floor. I was like, look, if you have an issue with me, you know, or like say it straight to my face. And she kind of smirked a little bit. And she's like, I don't want to go there. And I was like, no, go there. Please go there. So she went there. And I sat there and listened, and I just let her just air out the blower on me. Tell me, you know, like, she's like, I think you're arrogant. You think you're the hottest shit in the world. And you think that if I pass up on you, that I'm an idiot for doing so and all of this. And I smiled back and I was like, yeah, that all checks out. And on a level, I admit, maybe I am arrogant, and maybe it is out of balance. You know, maybe my confidence veers on the side of arrogance at sometimes, and that's actually rooted in insecurities that I have based off of prior traumas. And I just told her that, and she was like, just floored by it. You know, women are not used to hearing that level of accountability from a man. I just owned it. I was like, yeah. The thing is, like, I am confident for a reason, because I know that I'm very genuine and loyal, truthful, talented, intelligent, healthy. You know I got it going on. I really like myself a lot, you know, and so there's that. And I'm sorry if it comes off as arrogance. Sometimes I think it is that, and I embrace that. You know, and I'll work on it. And so by interacting with the female on this level, it's like, okay, well, what I need to do is ground into my own feminine more, you see, because I've been having these intense cravings. This is why this situation is so charged for me, right? Because if she was just a guy, you know, none of this stuff would get to me, right? But because she's a female, and I still have these certain inclinations to want to kind of ground into the feminine because of my intense masculine energy, she's become a possible source of grounding. And it's like I get frustrated because she won't sit still. So women are very fluid, man. They're all over the place. And a part of me is like, why won't you just sit still and be consistent so I can ground into you? But you see, that's codependence, and that's not healthy. That's not how it works. As men, we also have our own feminine nature, and what we need to do is ground into that. And that's what's going to enable us to continue on this path of retention in a way where we're not out here like road raging, like, you know, just overly masculine. I think that it can get like that, and we need to be careful. The masculinity is good, it's great, it's beautiful, but it has to be grounded. It has to be grounded, or else it turns into chaos, anger, rage, all this stuff. So yeah, I think that's about all I got to say on this video. I want to speak more on this in future videos, this dynamic between the masculine and the feminine, and how instead of, you know, having this attitude of like, you know, women are crazy, or they're here to, these succubus Jezebel spirits that are just here to throw you off the mission. There's another perspective on this, where we can look at them as teachers, as reflections of ourselves, and they have their own way of shining light on our stuff. So as men, I think this is really the most masculine thing you can do about that, is to be willing to be courageous enough to look at what they're shining light on in you, and not make it about them. Make it about you. And you do the work, and you be your own best friend, and you be your own lover, and you ground into you so that you are a complete individual. And then you enter into a space where you literally do not need the validation from the opposite sex or anybody else. You're self-contained, you're self-validated, and you're in connection with the Most High, so you're not alone either. So you're not like, oh, I'm lonely, I need a girl. No, you're not alone, because you don't get lonely because you're not alone. See what I mean? All right. Cheers, fellas. Love you guys. Drop a comment, like, all that stuff. Let's go.